Did you know undocumented immigrants pay over $240 billion in taxes, state and federal?
How much do you think undocumented immigrants pay into the tax system every year?
Zero.
Nothing.
Probably nothing.
Undocumented, I would guess zero. Why would they pay anything?
My guess is nothing.
Since they're undocumented, $0.
$100.
$100.
Why do Americans say undocumented immigrants are a drain on the system? Last year, they paid $97 billion in taxes, including $32 billion to programs like Social Security and Medicare, which they can't even use. That's more than the net contribution of all but 6 states. They're not the problem. They're holding the country together.
Now, how much do undocumented migrants pay in tax per year?
Nothing.
False. In the fiscal year of
Nothing. Are you serious? They're undocumented.
What's up, guys? Welcome to yet another video. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while I've posted because I went on a short break, but now I'm back. And how have you been doing? I've missed you all. Thank you so much for all those who have been watching my videos, all those who have subscribed, my returning subscribers. You guys are the real G's. And if you're new on the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel or support the channel in any way that you can. Thank you. So guys, people are shocked, especially MAGA supporters are shocked to find out that illegal migrants or illegal aliens, as they like to say, pay taxes. Yeah, they pay income tax, especially. Even myself, I'm surprised to learn that because I never knew that illegal or undocumented migrants pay income taxes. Now, contrary to what they were made to believe, that illegal migrants are dependent on benefits and on the American taxpayer to provide for them for health, for housing, for all that, just to learn that they actually pay taxes. It's quite shocking for most of them. And so I'm going to roll out the videos, guys. As you watch, do not forget to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section.
How much do you think undocumented immigrants pay into the tax system every year? The system. They pay it into the system.
Okay.
So through ITIN number.
Is undocumented immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants. They pay Medicare, they pay Social Security. They don't get Social Security.
Right, but they pay into it.
They pay
See, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
You know, it's not really surprising that so many of them didn't know or expressed shock to find out that the undocumented migrants actually pay income tax or that they contribute to the tax system. You can see the shock on most of them, their faces, yeah. Because when they say undocumented migrants, all they can think about is the negatives, because that's what they've been made to believe, and so that they can champion the agenda of their government, right? And so to hear this, that there is some good that is coming out of undocumented migrants, apart from the fact that they are the workforce and making things happen in the country, they are really shocked to find out that the undocumented migrants pay actual tax.
Undocumented immigrants paid $96.7 million into the tax system. Undocumented immigrants did that. Undocumented means you don't have a Social Security number. It also means you're not allowed to be employed. How the fuck did you pay $97 million in if you're not a recognized person by the United States government?
Hey, Heavy, let me help you out because that commenter's actually right, but you, like a lot of people, think that they're wrong. But it's because you guys don't know about ITINs, or individual tax identification numbers. Because you see, in the United States, we collect taxes from everybody who earns income in this country. Well, unless you're super rich, but that's a story for another day. But if you earn income in this country, you have an income tax liability, and only American citizens can get Social Security numbers, so the IRS needed some way in order to track people that had an income tax obligation so that they could file their taxes. So in 1996, they started issuing ITINs. Now, see, when it comes to ITINs, the IRS doesn't ask about your immigration status. Why? Well, it's because the same way the FBI doesn't care if I'm speeding. It's not the IRS's job. The IRS's job is to collect the revenue owed to the federal government, and ITINs make it easier to collect that revenue. Now, look, I don't blame you for not believing me, some guy on the internet telling you that you're wrong. But then, if I'm wrong, can you explain to me why the Trump administration would want the IRS to share data with ICE? What data would the IRS have if these undocumented immigrants weren't actually paying their taxes? And while we're on the topic of immigration, I have a question for the entire class. So all of you watching this, feel free to ring the buzzer, type your comments, stitch this, whatever you want to do. But explain to me this. If illegal immigration is one of the biggest problems that this country is facing and we want to stop it, why are we only focusing on punishing the immigrant? Why are we not punishing the people that are employing the immigrant? Because don't forget, according to Donald Trump, we have 20 million people, undocumented immigrants in this country that need to go and that they are taking American jobs. Explain this to me. Who's hiring them and why aren't they being punished? And better yet, why is there nobody clamoring, especially on the right, for stiff punishments for these companies that are employing these folks?
Let me ask you about the New York Times, which reports the IRS is preparing to reach an agreement with ICE to help locate immigrants for deportation by handing over, not just verifying, home addresses for people who've been ordered to leave the United States. These are undocumented immigrants who are paying taxes in this country. Is this going to just force more people to live in the shadows?
Alex, you can't make this up. Listen, okay, there are those of us that believe in the humanity of things and believe in doing things in due order, okay? But here's the deal. You've painted these people as like the demons. And so it's like, we got to get the demons that are dangerous and ruining our country out of here, right? But you're going to the IRS. You know why? Because undocumented people have been contributing up to $100 billion in taxes. So now if you're going to say, you know what? And mind you, these people are told that if you are here undocumented, you are still required to pay taxes. And so guess what? We get up to $100 billion a year in tax revenue from these people. And now you're saying, you know what? Go ahead and violate privacy laws, even though they are trying to contribute to this country. So guess what? People are going to go into the shadows. That's more money that we're going to lose. And we know that he has no intentions of going to his billionaire buddies to go and get that tax revenue. So this is yet another instance of how incompetent they are. Because if we lose those dollars, remember, undocumented people do not collect on Social Security, but they pay into a system that helps to make sure that we can keep Social Security solvent.
One of my favorite things to do in my free time is to look at Twitter threads of Republicans arguing with Grok. Check this out. It begins here with this user saying, "Hey Grok, how much money will the U.S. lose in payroll taxes and Social Security due to Trump's purge of undocumented labor?" It responds with, "Undocumented workers contribute $26 billion annually to Social Security via payroll taxes, per ITEP and SSA data. But very few receive benefits. A full purge would mean a similar yearly loss, exacerbating Social Security's projected 2035 insolvency by reducing inflows without cutting payouts. Diverse analyses agree on net negative impact, though scale is debated." Then this genius comes in here saying, "Grok, okay, compare that to how much they cost us in financial aid programs for the one that don't work and are cheating the system." Grok says undocumented immigrants contribute $66 billion annually in federal taxes, including $24 billion to Social Security without drawing benefits. Mass deportation could lose $300 billion or more in revenue over 10 years, plus $860 billion enforcement costs. Going on to say that welfare costs us $12 billion a year, mostly via U.S.-born kids. Undocumented immigrants are ineligible for most of the aid. State and local are $10 billion a year, mainly through education and health. Therefore, their tax contributions far exceed aid costs. This is what they don't want you to understand. Undocumented immigrants are not draining the system, they're propping it up. The real 1% that we need to worry about are the billionaires. They are destroying our system.
A lot of undocumented immigrants are paying their taxes. And how do I know this? Because in 2019, the IRS reports that 2.5 million tax returns were received with tax identification numbers. All of those tax returns were people who are undocumented in the United States. And even though they're undocumented, they're still required to pay taxes. And why would you do that? Comply with the laws, show good moral character, prove a bona fide relationship. So undocumented immigrants in 2019 cut the federal deficit by more than $6 billion because they don't get any benefits. They don't get any tax refund. They don't get any Social Security benefits. So I laugh sometimes in the comments when people say, yeah, come across the border, it's all free stuff here. It's not. And undocumented immigrants are paying, or many of them are paying their fair share and more.
Oh, Mark, I'm just going to leave this up to maybe you just don't know. Undocumented immigrants last year contributed $11.2 billion in taxes. Yep. See, they file their taxes through what we have in the country called an ITIN, an individual taxpayer identification number. They can use this to file their taxes, which they do, because it helps them get to citizenship. It helps them with their immigration status. Also, people would like you to believe that undocumented immigrants get paid under the table. They don't. No, they're on people's payrolls. In fact, they're on a lot of people's payrolls. And so they get things deducted from their paychecks, like income tax and Social Security tax. So yeah, they pay into Social Security and they get taxed on it. And you know what's crazy? Undocumented immigrants don't even have voting rights, yet they pay their taxes. I wonder, do you vote? Do you exercise that right that you have because you are a good tax-paying citizen? Just a question. Okay, have the day you deserve.
Undocumented immigrants pay nearly $100 billion in taxes. It was reported by Bloomberg News that immigrants pay nearly 26% of their total income to federal taxes, totaling $100 billion in 2022. The 400 wealthiest Americans pay 23% of their income in taxes. Yes, you heard that right. Undocumented immigrants pay a higher percentage to federal taxes than 400 of America's wealthiest people. So the claim that undocumented immigrants just take from the system and never give back is totally blown apart by this report. In fact, some would argue that it's the billionaires who are U.S. citizens who take, and not the undocumented immigrants.
So when you Google who is eligible to use ITIN, it will say it's for those who cannot have access to Social Security. And if you are not a US citizen, you will not have access to Social Security. So definitely if you're an undocumented migrant, you cannot have access to that. However, you can apply for an ITIN so you can pay your tax. Now, every undocumented migrant would want to become documented in the near future. So you want to do everything right. So then most people obviously will apply to get their ITIN so that they pay tax. Personally, I think every country has the right to protect its borders and to decide who they want to stay and who they do not want to stay. Obviously, you should be targeting criminals and those who bring bad reputation to your country and everything, but not hard-working, honest people who are trying to make a living for themselves. Now, for the ICE raids, you can see them raiding workplaces and just rounding up just normal people who are just trying to make a living and to afford a better life for themselves and their families. And this doesn't seem fair at all because these people are the workforce, plus they also contribute financially to the economy. So this also make you wonder, what is the game plan of the government? Are they really looking to end illegal migration? If that's the case, why are they not targeting the companies that are hiring or the people that are hiring these illegal migrants? Why are they just focusing on capturing just the illegal migrants, and then the real system that is promoting this particular issue for the government is just being left to do whatever they are doing still? So what do you think about this, guys? Did you know that the undocumented migrants pay taxes or not? Let's know in the comment section. And also anything that you have picked up from the video, or just share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section. And so thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also like and share the video as well. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.